Something isn't adding up at the Postal Service. The man responsible for keeping the Postal Service in check just walked away. A full year before his term was up, claiming it was his own decision. Michael Kubayanda, the top regulator over USPS operations, has suddenly stepped down, and no one's given a straight answer why. Right after months of disagreements with leadership over transparency and reform. So, the real question is, did he step down or was he pushed out? Let's dive in. The Postal Regulatory Commission, better known as the PRC, is the quiet referee of America's mail system. It doesn't deliver mail or set postal policy directly, but it has one crucial job.
It oversees prices, on-time delivery service, and more. For example, the PRC recently began an important public inquiry on proposed changes to the postal network.
To keep the United States Postal Service in check, every time USPS wants to raise prices or change delivery standards or restructure operations, it has to answer to the PRC. And for the past several years, the watchdogs have been led by Michael Kubayanda, a man known for his data-driven approach and his willingness to challenge postal leadership when things don't add up. Under his leadership, the commission pushed for more transparency, deeper analysis of cost models, and stronger accountability, especially for rural customers often left behind by modernization plans. But that same independence made him a thorn in the side of USPS executives, creating friction that only grew as the Delivering for America plan began reshaping the Postal Service from the inside out. Then, out of nowhere, a few weeks ago, Michael Kubayanda announced that he was stepping down more than a full year before his term was set to expire in November 2026. In a brief statement, he said the decision was made completely on my own accord, but gave no specific reason for leaving. That line alone raised questions. This wasn't just any random resignation. It was the departure of the nation's top postal regulator at a time when USPS reforms are accelerating faster than ever.
The research is alarming. Service performance, finances, and efficiency are moving in the wrong direction. In Georgia, Virginia, Texas, and other states, service quality has continued to decline. Individual letters and cards mailed within the Atlanta area, which should arrive in a generous 2-day window, met that standard only 16% of the time in March.
With Kubayanda out, Vice Chairman Robert Tubb will temporarily oversee the PRC's duties until the White House nominates a replacement. But the sudden timing and the lack of a clear explanation and the political stakes surrounding USPS leadership all fuel speculation that this wasn't just a quiet exit. It might have been the result of deeper pressure from inside the system he was regulating. When the referee leaves the game, who's left to call the fouls? Because right now, the Postal Service might be playing without oversight. Basically, the system he was guarding suddenly has room to move unchecked, and that should worry everyone who depends on it. The Postal Regulatory Commission is the only real body standing between USPS leadership and complete control over rates and service standards and modernization plans that affect every address in America. Without Kubayanda at the helm of this operation, USPS now faces fewer obstacles to push through the more controversial parts of its Delivering for America plan, including extended delivery times, reduced processing centers, and price hikes that have already hit mailers hard this year. For rural communities, that could mean slower service and fewer protections against cost cutting. For postal employees, it could mean a faster shift toward automation and consolidation. And for the everyday customer, it's one step closer to a postal service that answers to itself, not to the people it's supposed to serve. And while we're talking about accountability, this channel runs on it too. I don't speak on behalf of the United States Postal Service, so I can dig into the stories most people overlook, just like this one. If you believe in supporting real conversations that impact postal workers and everyday Americans, visit expressmailtv.store and grab some merch. Every hoodie, every t-shirt, every purchase helps this platform going strong. Maybe you'd like to give a gift to your favorite mail carrier. The link is in the description. But the story doesn't end with a simple resignation. The real drama lies in the months leading up to Kubayanda's exit, where tension between the PRC and USPS leadership had been quietly boiling over. Under Kubayanda, the PRC had been one of the few bodies willing to push back against controversial elements of the Delivering for America plan, for service standard changes to propose rate increases as well. Meanwhile, USPS executives, including former Postmaster General Louis DeJoy, had publicly criticized the PRC for slowing progress and framing oversight as a roadblock rather than a safeguard. This set the stage for a showdown between accountability and ambition, one that now seems to have tipped in the favor of the Postal Service. So, what comes next? With Kubayanda heading out, the Postal Regulatory Commission is temporarily under Vice Chairman Robert Tubb, but the big question remains: who will be nominated to permanently fill the chair, and what kind of oversight will they provide? In the short term, USPS now has more freedom to push forward with rate increases and service standard adjustments and operational changes without a strong, independent voice watching their every move. Congress, postal unions, and rural communities are all watching closely, but until a new chair is confirmed, the balance of power has shifted. It's a wild card moment, one that could accelerate modernization plans, reshape how Americans receive their mail, and set a precedent for how much freedom USPS has to operate largely on its own. For postal employees and everyday customers alike, the next few months could determine whether oversight returns to its traditional role or whether this is the start of a Postal Service playing by its own rules. But at the end of the day, this isn't just about one man stepping down. It's about the future of the Postal Service and how it impacts every American, from the smallest rural mailbox to the busiest city street. Oversight matters, accountability matters, and when those safeguards shift, it affects real people, real workers, and real communities. So stay informed, pay attention to these changes, and don't let them happen quietly. Like and subscribe to this channel and visit the merch store. See you in the next one.